Hello students, welcome to science class today. We are still treating electricity from our previous lesson. After knowing electricity around us, we also have to know how we can stay safe with electricity around us, okay? So today we are studying staying safe with electricity. The meaning of staying safe with electricity is to prevent harmful or dangerous effects of electricity. So to prevent harmful and dangerous effects of electricity, it means that you are staying safe around electricity, and that is very important, okay? We have electrical currents. This is the power or the energy of electricity that makes electricity dangerous and very harmful when you are exposed to it in a wrong way. So you always have to know your electrical currents, that they are the energy or power of electricity and they are dangerous. So stay away from them. Electricity distribution is sharing of electricity. So when electricity is produced from a power station, it needs to be distributed to our regular homes, our businesses and factories, okay? So electricity distribution is the sharing of electricity, okay? How is electricity distributed? We distribute electricity through cable or a wire, okay? So a wire or a cable is that metal in the form of a flexible thread. Okay, so you know our cables, our wires, this is what our current or electricity current passes through when they are doing distribution. So whenever you hear of a wire or a cable, these are metal forms of flexible thread that we all know in our homes. When you are exposed to electricity, the feeling that you get that is so bad is called electric shock, okay? So when you touch an open electric cable with a current inside, you get an electric shock. So what is electric shock? It is that sudden or violent disturbance from electricity, okay? So when you get that bad feeling from touching those wires and those electrical cables, you get those sudden and violent disturbances, and that is not good for you. So you always have to be very careful with electricity. Don't touch open cables, don't use damaged cables, don't touch any electrical gadget when your hands are wet. So today I'm going to give you 3 tips on the board, and then we will also check from our book what we have there to help us stay safe always from electricity. Don't overload your electrical outlet, okay? So whenever you want to use an outlet, make sure you don't overload it. You put so many devices on a small outlet. You always make sure that you keep your electrical devices away from water, okay? So whenever you have electrical devices or equipment, keep them away from water, because the two of them are not friends. If they come together, it will make you stay unsafe. The next thing is you have to protect small children from hazards. What hazards are we talking about? We are talking about electrical currents, electrical devices. You have to keep yourself away from these hazards so that you always stay safe. Is that all right? Okay, so as you know, our lesson is from page 50 of our textbook, okay? So over here you see that there is a damaged cable, and you don't have to work around damaged cable so that you stay safe. Is that all right? You are not supposed to touch metals getting electric shock, because this can cause damage and death to you, okay? You also don't have to put anything into a hole of wall outlet or socket. If you also do that, you also get some harm or dangerous effect. So always keep away from exposed cables, and then don't get closer with electric and water together. Thank you. Now we'll go to our first activity on this lesson. After we have learned how to stay safe, I want you to do this activity. You mentioned 5 things. When I say things, you have to write like a statement, okay? A sentence that you have learned that you have to do so that it can result to on-stay health safety with electricity, okay? So mention 5 things that when you do can, so we put when you do, okay? So 5 things that when you do can result to on-stay safety with electricity. So 5 things that when you do, you can have problems with electricity. You put those things over here, okay? Thank you for watching this session. Hello students, welcome back to our second video on our lesson electricity. Today we are looking at staying safe. So we have to stay safe around electricity all the time, okay? You have to remember these your keywords: electrical current, electricity distribution, what a cable or a wire is, electrical shock or electric shock, and then some of the tips that you have to keep in mind always to stay safe with electricity, okay? We have our second activity or our second task on today's lesson, staying safe. So I want you to do this exercise at page 26 of your activity book, okay? So you go to page 26 of your activity book, okay? So you can find that page over here. That is exercise 5.2, electrical safety. So you answer according to the diagram that you have there, and the instruction is that you are supposed to draw a circle on the things in the picture that are not safe for you. So there are certain attitude or behavior or practice that you can find in this picture that is not safe for electricity around us. So you have to put a circle on those practices that you see in this picture that is not safe. Very good. Okay, so once you finish that, you send to the group and then I'll check for you. Thanks for joining me on this session. I'll see you on our final and third video. Good. Welcome to our final video for today's class. Our topic has been electricity and the subunit has been staying safe. We are studying from page 50, unit 5, okay? The meaning of staying safe is to prevent harmful or dangerous effects of electricity. So when you prevent yourself from harmful or dangerous effect of electricity, it means that you are staying safe from electricity, okay? Again, you should also know that electricity comes with currents, and these currents are the power or the energy of electricity. So electricity comes with a current. A current is that energy or power with electricity, and that is what causes harm or dangerous effect to humans and animals when we come in contact with them. Again, you are also supposed to understand or know that electricity is produced at a power station and it's being distributed, and it is called electricity distribution. This is whereby we share, so it's sharing of electricity. We distribute to homes, offices, factories, and what have you. The distribution is done through a wire or a cable. So these wires or cables carry the energy from the production point to our homes and offices. And the wires or cables are the metal forms of flexible thread, which most of you, or probably all of you, might know, because we know wires and we know cables. Okay, electric shock is that bad feeling that we get when we touch electricity. Okay, so that is a sudden or a violent disturbance from electricity. When you are exposed to electricity, you get electric shock. So always stay away from electricity. Okay, you use it wisely. These are few tips for you to stay safe when it comes to electricity. You do not have to overload your outlets. It means when you are plugging your devices on your extension, you don't have to overload them. You also have to keep electrical devices away from water, because water and electric current, they are not friends. Okay, so that will cause problem for you. You also have to protect small kids or yourself as children from hazards of electrical shocks and electrical problems. Okay, so that you don't get any electrical shock, or you don't get any harm or dangerous effect from electricity. Okay, so when you do that, it will always going to be okay for you. I want to tell you that there's something we say about electricity. We say electricity is a good servant but can be a bad master. So be careful with electricity. To close our lesson, we will have our homework that we have to do. I want you to mention 5 ways. Okay, you mention 5 ways to stay safe around electricity. So from what you have learned about staying safe, I want you to mention or write 5 ways that you can stay safe around electricity like this. Okay, so that we know that you really understand and can practice how to stay safe from electricity. I hope you have enjoyed today's class, and I hope to see you again next week. Goodbye.